Another example of how egregious this system is becoming. I was with a client of ours in Southern Illinois, in a rural community, but not that far away from St. Louis, where we're located. And they're a trucking company. And we got into a discussion about various needs. And the owner of the company asked me, they said, do you know any facilities that do radiological services like MRIs or otherwise that we might be able to connect with? And I said, yeah. I said, they're a little further away from you than your backyard. I recommended this particular company, and I showed them the price list. I said, why? They said, well, they were going to a facility that was charging them $300, $400, $500 for what procedures they were performing, when their people needed it. An MRI might cost $400 or $500, depending upon what it was. Some maybe $350, and that's what they were paying. She told me that the lady that is part of the family that owns the company, she told me that the reason why she was asking is because the facility she was going to was acquired by a major hospital system here in St. Louis, and there was a paper a sign on the window of the receptionist that said they had just been acquired by this hospital system. Well, the reason why they're asking to know about other facilities, what was $500, and she sent me the actual documentation, and I'd share it with anybody. What was $500 is now $3,500. Same procedure, same facility, same staff. And they weren't losing money when they were charging $500. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been in business. And they wouldn't have had a profitable asset to sell to a hospital. $3,500 a month later, because they went when the hospital system had acquired it, rather than going before they acquired it, and nobody knew what was going on. Let's talk about something else in a little bit different vein, but along the same lines. Just this morning, we had a Zoom conference with an employer that's a small manufacturer up in southeast Iowa. Got about 45 employees. 45 employees and dependents. They told me that their premiums with Blue Cross are $610,000 a year. Think about that. $610,000 a year. And they told me that they were being shown that their costs are being driven by prescriptions, which doesn't surprise me. And that they were evaluating their prescription program, in detail. So I asked them if they were evaluating their prescription program with an insurance agent or a professional licensed pharmacist, because there's an independent pharmacy in their community. I said, have you ever had a pharmacist involved in the evaluation? And so they hesitated. I said, who do you evaluate this with? Their insurance agent. So I asked a simple question. Are you going to get a better result, a better value, better insight, and better guidance when your prescription costs are running at this rate from a professional pharmacist, a licensed professional pharmacist, or a licensed insurance agent bringing you an insurance premium to tell you how good the company is because they're only charging you $600,000 a year? He said, obviously a pharmacist. I said, then why are you going to an insurance agent? Well, that's what happens. Everybody's going to insurance agents to buy health care. Everybody's going to insurance agents for advice. Tell me what insurance agent knows anything about the pharmacy world. And vice versa, tell me what pharmacist knows anything about the insurance world. Pharmacy is essentially a fixed cost anyway because it's almost all maintenance drugs. And some of the drugs their people are using are advertised on TV. Skyrizi is one, Ozempic was another. I said, you see it advertised on TV, you're paying $600,000 to have Blue Cross, pick up the tab for you. Do you know what Ozempic cost? Do you know what Skyrizi cost? He said, no. I said, do you know what the copay is? He said, yeah. I said, but what's it cost? He said, $50. Because that's all they're exposed to is the copay. $50. Skyrizi is like $6,000 to $7,000 a month. Ozempic is around $1,200, $1,300, $1,400 a month. Plus what the insurance companies and PBMs add to it. Furthermore, when they bundle the prescription utilization into the premium, if that premium goes up 10%, the cost of those drugs just went up 10%. Now, if they buy those drugs directly from their local pharmacist, if the premium goes up 10%, but it doesn't have anything to do with prescriptions and the prescription utilization cost is excluded from the premium, the cost of those drugs sitting on the shelf of the pharmacist didn't go up 10% on a renewal date. It's the same price. So let's say it's April 1st is their renewal date. The cost of the drug sitting on the shelf of a pharmacy is the same as it was the day before on March 31st. Except if you use a premium, it costs 10% more. And you don't even know what it cost.